Well, howdy, partners! Right, we're back, and we're back this time with Kerbal. We'll give the other one a break. And we're back with Will's Space Monkeys, of course, which is from my friend Will, who watches all my streams. And we're going to move on to the next stage. Right, now, last time, we got a few things. We got a bit of science. We opened up the tree a little bit more. The old technology tree, but we still got very little, of course. We still only have 2 pods, 2 little tanks, nothing on there, nothing on there really, nothing on robotics or anything like that, because that's robotics and that is coupling. We have 2 decouplers, although one of them we can't use yet because we haven't achieved that yet. They're black because you could possibly do a mission to test that. That's why it's black, so it will give you temporary access to it. Although, oh no, actually it means I haven't put down one of these, so therefore we can't attach these until we've done that, which is the black ones. That's what it means. Right, now our latest craft that we opened, and I can't remember which one was better, but one was the ash bin and one was the dustbin. But I'll presume it's that one. Yeah, that's the one, because the other one had lots of little tanks. This one's got slightly bigger ones. Now, of course, we've got this. It's all looking quite nice. But, you know, we could put this in the aircraft hangar. And in, you know, where you build your planes. Because you could also build planes in this game, not just rockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I can choose. No, I've got to find out how to do it. Because it's been a while. Now, how do I change it so that we can do it in the other place? That's a very good question. So what I'm going to do is try and find out. Let's see. How do I do that? There is a way of using this ship, but instead of launching it or adjusting it in here, the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building, we can do it in the other bit, which name fails me at the moment. But it could be we can't do it in this particular version of Kerbal because it has been, updated, and this one hasn't been updated to the very latest yet. So what we might have to do. Beautiful music, isn't it? I'm going to return to the Space Centre. Try not to get too lost. But it's been a little while, as it always is, and we're going to go to this bit. Okay? Simple as that. And then we're going to just check that we're live at the moment, which we should be. If I refresh my dashboard or whatever I do, we'll get the live feed up just in case people come in or want to chat or whatever. Because, you know, that's what they do. If I can find it, that is. Right, there's live. Right, there's the live channel. Right, okay. How do we make that smaller? No, right, okay. Well, the sound's working. Now I've got to find out how to make this shorter so that I can... I think I've got to do it long ways, I think. God, blimey. So professional, aren't I? Right, that's it. Do it long ways, then we can see the text. Right then, so we're in here, of course. And we could open a craft. Now, the space plane hangar, that's what it's... Right, so we have the thing in there. We can load it into here. Now, I bet you're thinking, why would you do that when it's a plane? Well, because we haven't really got many plane parts, to be honest. I mean, if we look through plane parts, what have we got? Not a lot. So we could do one of these, right? And it does it in this orientation because obviously it's a plane type thingy. Now we can do it with this. Just select this, press back, and you can do that, or you can click the left L3 or the left button on a Xbox, and we can do it like this. So there's 2 different ways you can do it. So it's entirely up to you how you do that. Now I would say we want a tank of some description, but obviously, you know, this is going to be slightly different because it's sideways. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, who cares? I usually go onto this one so that I can click on it and do this. It's not letting me do it on that one for some reason. Yeah, rigid attach. Oh, it hasn't got the strut things. But never mind. Of course, we could pick a different colour, an orange. You know, we have nice brown and black if we want. And can we do the same on that? Yes, very gently. You can. We can also do like that. So you can do different colour variations. Apparently, there's even more in the proper game. Right. So yeah, we obviously don't want all this stuff. Now we're not going to take off. Now I bet you'll say, why would you build something you can't take off? It's purely because we're doing this in the interests of science. What does that mean, you might ask? I mean, I'll stick it on just for the sheer fun of it. Nothing else. And then we get the wings out. Of course, we got loads of wings. It's not going to be very effective wings. And of course, we can do this and select that, I do believe, which is the symmetry, is it? I tell a lie, that it's not the symmetry. Right, let me just work this out in my tiny brain. Right, there we go. There we go. Now we have a little bit of symmetry. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty crummy kind of ship, isn't it? Let's be honest. We could do a little tail fin on the back here. Although it's kind of pointing the wrong way. Although, is it? Is it? No, we don't want the symmetry this time. We just want the one. Although I think we can do that. Oh yeah, that's the mirror one. That's it. That's if you want to look at yourself. Right. Oh dear. Now I've messed it up. Yeah, it does go a bit weird when you're in this one after being used to the other one. Right. Okay. Let's see if we got any wheels, because that will be a miracle. We got a landing strut. I mean, it's not the greatest in the world, and we're gonna rotate it so it's pointing down, and obviously, you know, this is not the greatest legs in the world, you know, but if we could just get the thing to stand up, it'd be a major achievement. So we're going to do the, apparently I haven't got the symmetry thing come up, but mirror 2, there we are. Right, we've got that there. All right. Now, engine-wise, well, we don't really want to make this thing take off, but let's throw some on there just for sheer fun. All right, just for a bit of a laugh, okay? So there we are. We've got it all fitted in. Now we could make all these rigid attachment, which will help it to stop it wobbling and jibbling about, which is the technical term for what happens. And so, I always do this. I do the auto strut, and I do the rigid attachment. That stops everything from wibbly wobbling. Sorry, I'll say the correct term. Right then, so it looks like all pretty much non-wibbly wobbly, and that one. It's just a thing you can do this in the options. So if you go to options, and it may not show on this particular one, because why would it? You will see, and I may have mentioned this before, but please forgive me if you've seen this before. But for those who haven't seen it, this is it. Right. Oh yeah, you can do things like, you know, do you want them to level up immediately or only when they return? So you could do it so that immediately they, say land on a planet and they get that kind of level up. You can do it there so that they can fly the ship better coming back. Or otherwise it would just do it when you come back. So you can do that. So these are little things you can stick in. You can also do that if you don't get a signal from these satellite stations. In other words, you're blocked by, say, the moon. Maybe you're on the opposite side of the moon and the signal is blocked. You cannot control the vehicle, but obviously that will make it a lot harder. It doesn't look like I can do it on this, but in the main game, you know, when you first load your game in, you can alter the setting for auto strut, and that will make your thing much more stable, and you won't have to keep putting all these stupid little struts in, which I don't think we've got yet. Anyway, stop rambling. So there's our craft, all beautifully made. Now, well, we'll give it a name, of course. I usually pop that one in. I think you can maneuver to this bit over here, and then we'll put in a description. So we'll put like wheels, because this is especially for wheels do you spell dodgy? Oh, there it is. Will's dodgy plane. There you are. It is a little bit on the dodgy side, isn't it? So we're going to have fun. Have fun. There we are. And then now let's test this beauty. I mean, let's be fair, we're not going to probably get more than 2 inches. Oh, wait a minute though, I forgot to do something. Did you forget to do something? I did forget to do something, Ray. Which is a common mistake when you play Kerbal. It's always, in fact, sometimes you get to the planet you want to go to and then you suddenly remember and then you got to revert it all the way back to the space hangar. I just forgot something really important. Is why we're doing this is we've got science from the the main launch pad, but we could also repeat that process, believe it or not, on the this counts as separate science. Wow, is that right, Uncle Ray? It is. And then I'm going to do say the mirror mode thing like that. See? So it's nice equally balanced because we don't want this thing to fall over, although it's probably going to fall over anyway because it's only got 1 pair of legs. I could put 2 on there just in case we can do 2 lots of science. That is all we can do in the science department. Alright, so we'll save that as whatever that was. Oh, actually I didn't put the description in of that, which should have been Will's dodgy plane. I put it in the wrong thing. I did it in the description instead of doing it in the name. Will's... Because when we play Kerbal, you've got to do silly stuff. You've got to do silly names. Because it's part of Kerbal, you see. You don't take this... You don't take this game seriously. You have a bit of fun with it and roll with it. That's the whole idea of it. Right, and then we'll save that so we don't have to do it. And then we press launch. So we gained all that science on the launch pad. But now we're going to repeat that process on the runway. And that will double up your science. See? So this is why we're doing it. Because obviously the more science we've got, the more things we can unlock, the better stuff we can build. That is the idea of this process. So we're going to observe the mystery goo. So let's have a good long look at it. We get 3 science. Magnificent. Although not exactly fantastic. And because we're on a planet, we can do the pressure. We cannot do it otherwise, I don't think. See, it's another 3. Now, you'd probably say that's not a lot, Ray. And it's not a lot, Ray. And then we're going to do a crew report. Okay, I guess it's 1.5. So we're really cracking on here. And then we can ask him to get out. Alright. Probably won't be able to get back in, though. And then we're going to click on him like that. And do another, we can do an EVA report, which is an extra vehicular activity. Wow, aren't you surprised by my fantastic knowledge? There you are. And then we can even make him, because if I get rid of that, I can then move him around. And we can make him let go. All right, so we can stand up. And then you can sort of, I don't think we can jetpack up, but you never know. Worth a try, innit? Nope. Okay, right. So let's see if we can do a crew report. Although one thing we have got to do is click on that. I said no. Click. You got to get it in the right place. Otherwise, it thinks if you click on the crew cabin, you see you get that come up. But if you store away from it, now we're going to store that particular instrument, that particular experiment, right? Because now we're going to do something really stupid. Okay, we're going to jump off said aircraft. And you're probably saying, why would you do that, Ray? Why, we're supposed to be flying it, aren't we? Oh, no. No, we're not supposed to be flying it. That would be suicide. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do another EVA report from outside here. Because we might get a different one. Now, if it won't do it, see, look, from the runway. So we've done one from the other place. Now we're getting it from the runway. All right? Then now we've got to transfer this back, and I don't know if we're close enough to, although we might be able to do it, because each time we've got to deposit it in the ship. We're not quite close enough, so we may not actually. Yeah, there we are. In fact, I was on it then, and I clicked off it, so we can store that. Now, if we've already done it, obviously, which it looks like we already have because we got out, then it will say, "Sorry, but we've already done that." which kind of makes sense. I'm trying to... Right, and then I'm going to do something very silly, but just run away. And I bet you're saying, why, Ray, would you be running away like that, away from your ship? It's for a very good reason, because we just did an EVA from the runway, right? But we want to get to the bit that's off the runway, because we'll get another bit of science. Clever, eh? See? You didn't... And we need every tiny little point, because we could get, you know, we could be 2 points away from, say, another upgrade. And then we're going to get off of this light green area onto this area, right? And then we're going to do the EVA report again. Alright? Like that. And we're going to overwrite the other one, because obviously the other one we've already got. Okay? So we're going to overwrite it. Oh, apparently we get nothing. I may not be quite far enough away, so let's go a little bit further. What you're saying, this is a waste of time, Ray. Why are you bothering? But it could be it's already done that. I'm sure. I know we used to be able to do this, but whether it does now, looks like you can. All right, that was a waste of your time. So let's run all the way back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'd cut that out if I had the technology and the skill. But hey, I haven't got a pair of scissors at the moment. It still is run on a film, this, isn't it? The old reel-to-reel film, isn't it? I don't think they've invented anything like tapes or CDs yet, have they? I mean, that's way in the future. Because, you know, we're living in the past here. It's the only way for an old man to live, is live in the past. Now, the chances of me climbing back into this ship is pretty non-extrusive. So I'm going to try a very unusual step of trying to climb. Now, this could throw the ship up into a wobbly, which is what they call it. So I'm just going to wander around endlessly and bore you to death by just see if I could jump up and get on top of this thing. Because sometimes you can get a little bit of an assist, although not like that. And I might be able to like jump on the back of the engine or something by trying to... That's right. The controls are like reversed on this. There we go. See? See, I did work it out. And then we can climb up like that. We can actually get back in. Now, you didn't think you could do that, but there is a climb function which gets you out all kinds of scrapes. And then we can grab that, and that'll stop a slippy sliding out, and then we'll repeat that experiment because we may have lost those points. And then we'll get in, and it will either reject or not reject. I cannot store it. Okay, well, we'll dump it then. Alright. So it looks like that is all we can do. I'll try a second go, because you never know. It could be possible to do a second one. You get less the second time, but, you know, it's better than a face full of sandwiches. Because I will come out with random stuff like that. There we are. Alright. And that's probably about all we can do, I do believe. If I could jetpack up, I'd probably get a flying one, but I can't do that. So we're going to return to the Space Center. Took a while of that to work that out. So, Will, if you're watching this, I do hope you're watching this, because it's especially for you, Will Space Monkeys. Right then, now if we go to our science department, it's not saying about science here, is it? Oh, I know why. It's because we haven't recovered the vehicle yet. Oops. So we've got to recover it. See? We can't fly it, which is pointless. Actually, let's try flying it. Oh, no. I'll do that another time. So there we are. Look how much science we just got. Practically any. We got 11. But 11 is not bad. He didn't get any kind of promotion. I'm not surprised he didn't take off. Alright, and then we go to the science department, which is this one, which is research and development, which is the same thing. And this is obviously where you see your previous reports. So we've only been to Kerbal so far. And you can look through all these other reports. You could just flick over to there, look. I think it's wider, flick to the next, you know. And you can look at all these reports just to double check which one you've done and which one you haven't done. Alright, but we're going to here and see if we can unlock some more stuff. Right, and I'm going to go to the arrow thing if I can find it. Oh no, you can't do the arrow thing here. Right, so we've done all these, right? All these green ones. Can you see there's a little green outline around the square? You can only move along the lines if they're unlocked. So you can't move to that one. I tell a lie. It used to be you couldn't. Right then. Now we could go for advanced rocketry. Now what do we need for that? 45, and we have 54. So we can only do one of these now. Should we go for bigger tanks? And if we wanna, and the text is rather covering the thing at the bottom. But I think it's Y. No, it's press down R3 on a PlayStation or right joystick push down. All right, and then there's a Terrier liquid engine. It looks practically so small I can barely see it. To be honest, it looks like an ant. And then we have some, and some more motors. And if we press X, we can see the, it's thrust, whatever. So that's a very small engine, 14 thrust. That's got 108, which is quite powerful. So you stick a few of them on, right? We've got a bigger tank again, a little adapter there, and another small tank. So these are bigger tanks, all right? Or we can do this one, which would give us access to a crew cabin. So this would be good for planes. We've got strut connector, decoupler, a structural fuselage. So this is for planes, okay? All right, and then we have a launch stability. In other words, we can clamp the thing down before we take off. All right, so that's that one. Or we can do a lot of plane stuff. All right. Now, I'm not a big plane fan in this game. I tend to just go with rockets. But only build a plane. But we could possibly do that. Take off, get a couple of readings, fly in, and that will be separate than the other one. But I'm going to ignore that because we want to do cool stuff like go to other planets and stuff. All right, and then we've got more winglet things and another. I think that one holds 2 as opposed to 1. No, I tell a lie, it's only 1. And this is going to be a probiotic Sputnik. It means it kind of replaces a cabin. So in other words, you could operate this ship without a pilot. It's got very small pilot assist. So if we... Now, this is where this bit doesn't always work. You can't get to the bottom section, and I don't know why that happens. But and then we've got a rechargeable battery pack, which is really good because we can't recharge it all. We've got another science thing, which will give us a lot of science. A storage unit where you can store a whole lot in one button press. And again, so because we want science, I'm going to go for that one. All right. If I can pick it. Why can't I pick that? Hang on. It's because we're in this menu. That's why. So we've got to press back. Then we've got to press it. So I'm going to press it because science is what makes this game expand. Okay. So now if we go back to our normal vehicle assembly building, or VAB for short, or VAB. Probably VAB is better. Right. We now have the extra stuff. So now I have this Sputnik-y thing. Right, so we don't need to send a pilot, so we can save the poor guy's life. It will only give us limited stuff. It will only give us... Well, it won't give us anything. It just gives us pilot assist, nothing else. Okay? But it might be enough to be able to get off the ground, put it that way. And then we still got the same on that. Alright, we still got the same on that, I do believe. So all we've gained really is very little. Is those cooling things. These are radiator panels, so there's certain equipment that make a lot of heat. Alright, so we've got the battery, we've got an extra one of these, we've got a high gain one, which means we can probably go to the moon with that one and still get a thing. Right, so what we'll do now is we'll call in our most up-to-date craft. Okay, but this time science-wise, we have a new extra part. Okay, so we're going to detach this bit and place this bit underneath it. Put that there, connect that back there. Alright. We've still got the same things on it, I think. So we should still have all the other ones on there. Yeah, and of course there's the monkey sign that we have on there. For Will Space I mean, it says squad. That's the people who make the game. And they're a fine bunch of squads. What else have we got in there? And of course parachutes. Well, we don't bother with parachutes. I mean, that's for sissies, isn't it? Can I detach that? Is there a decoupler on it? And that is for that one and that one. I think we've got an engine on that. Does seem a bit stupid, doesn't it? Looks like we've only got one of those, so that's probably a bit silly. Although maybe not. Is there a decoupler? There is a decoupler, although it seems to be like quite hidden there. Oh yeah, it is kind of a little bit off. So the first one is like a liquid fuel one where it will take us up at tremendous velocity without any kind of control. Now, if you want to check whether you can get off the ground, it's got to be higher than 1. And see, we've got plenty of thrust there. And on the second engine we have 3, so we've got plenty of thrust to get up. So we could reach a new milestone. Should we risk a pilot? I mean, it's a little bit risky. We've only got 2. But let's go with it, eh? Let's save it. Because we don't have to take off, to be honest. What's the point of it then? I don't know. Did I save that? I can't remember. I'm going to do it, and then we're going to launch. And then what we do? Just do this science as well. Just for a bit of fun. We will eventually get onto more advanced rockets. Don't you worry about that. Har har. I'll probably do an hour on this, but I might do another hour very shortly, another time. Maybe later today, in fact. Right, so there we are. We're on the thing, and we may not even take off because we're going to observe the materials bay. So stare at it for a bit, and we get 7 whole points for that. See, there's no point doing all the other experiments we did before, like the crew report and all that gubbins. Oh, it looks like we can. I tell a lie. I mean, it may not, maybe it's saying it can do it. Oh yeah, we will get less each time. Probably going to do it twice at the absolute outside. But it's probably because we may not have already done this yet. So we just click on the old guy, do the AVA per report, and we're getting nothing. Right, so we're not going to get anything on that. Get back in, all right? And we could end it there. Well, we've done what we want to do. We've got the science. Go back in. So let's recover it. Yeah, you go up to the top, recover the vehicle. That's probably not enough to unlock another bit of the tree, is it? I mean, let's be honest. But it's just to show that you don't have to take off. There we are. And we got 9 science for that, which means we've got 19. So we still haven't got enough. We didn't get any kind of level up there. We got the funds back. No kind of level up. I'm not surprised we didn't take off. So let's try taking off this time. Now, I don't think we're still on the thing now. So let's open that up again. This time we'll take off. Let's go boldly on, shall we? Let's see if we can get in orbits. Now, I'm not sure if we've been into orbit yet. We might have been. So I may add a new section to this to make sure we do. Now, you can easily add a new section by... I'll probably do... Well, let's do it separately. Because I could do a copy of that, but... Let's add an extra one. Because we've got plenty of thrust. So... I'm going to add a couple. Alright, now instantly we've got to change it to this. No, that's the wrong one. Got to change it. Oh. Apparently we can't match the other one for some reason. That's a shame. But we're going to make sure they are rigid attachment on both of them. So anytime you add them new, just click that rigid attachment if you've got the advanced tweakables on the main menu before you loaded your game in. Alright? That's where you do it. But at the moment we just do that. So let me double check. Everything's on rigid. Now that one is pure, we actually don't need, to be honest. because we're going to take off, we might have very little time to do this stuff. This actually is redundant. You could put all your little instruments inside there instead of sticking them outside the ship, because that's where I like to put them. All right, let me save that. Well, we'll call this slightly different name, shall we? No, we won't. Let's go. Let's just go with it. Right, let's take off. See how far we get. You never know, we might get in a orbit. I can't remember if we got in a orbit before, because it's been a little while since we've done Will's space program or Space Monkeys. Just checking the mic is close enough. Oh, it should be entertaining dinner soon. Right, we've got plenty of thrust, so I'm probably thinking less than. Although this thing does whatever it wants, because the first section is solid fuel, so therefore it will burn at maximum thrust indefinitely. Well, until it runs out. So we're going to press it. We've got no real control over it. Jebediah is really trying to get control over it. And actually he is succeeding. And I think on the second engine we also got a good amount of thrust. Although we've added a couple of tanks, I think we're still well over 1. So I'll keep it on the just below. And you can adjust this. And let's do that one. As long as we're going up, we're fine. Now we come down to about. Don't want to be going too fast. You want to keep under the 300 mark, otherwise you start getting resistance like that. Until you get out of the light blue area, you see the atmosphere up there? When you get out of the light blue area, then we can start thinking about turning. I mean, you could turn just before, but you mustn't go outside the yellow circle. But once we get into the darker blue, we can do that and completely lose control of the ship. So maybe that was a bad idea. I'm surmising that was a bad idea. Yeah, that was a bad idea. So I went too far too soon there, and I paid a vicious penalty for that, and I'm really struggling to get it back. So we're going to get closer and closer to that yellow bit. Yeah, if you go too far too soon, and of course we're a bit top heavy as well. That's one of the reasons. And we'll try and do it just a bit at a time. Because if we don't go sideways soon, we are not going to reach an orbit. So we are just watching our height here. And I could click to this actually, because that'll tell us then our height. 60,000. So 75 is when we're in orbit. Well, it could be 73 for all I know. And then we're going to turn full right, because now we need to speed up to maintain an orbit. If you know your... Right, and then I'm just about to say I was going to cut the engines. And then, yeah, well, that didn't materialise, did it? And let's have a look. Did we get anywhere near an orbit? No, nowhere near an orbit. Maybe I could have managed that a little bit better. But while we're up here, we should be able to do this. And we're doing it from a different area now. And we're getting 22. See, obviously, the further we go, if we get to the moon, obviously, we're going to have a really good lot of science. We'll try a crew report. Yeah, we're getting that. We're doing EVA. We've got to do this before we fall back down through the atmosphere. In fact, it may already be too late, because we're already falling through the atmosphere, in which case he will buzz off into infinity, and that wouldn't be a very good idea, would it? And I don't know if we've done these before, but we'll quickly do them just to see if it's feasible. And we'll do this one. Oh, actually, I may have already done that one, but we'll do it anyway. I mean, just click on it. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd just keep on clicking if I was you. I mean, if it reject it if it won't allow it. But make sure you press keep. If you reset, then obviously it won't do it. All right. Now, it's probably a good idea now. In fact, we are above the atmosphere now. So let me do an EVA. Right. Okay, we cannot, because unlike Sandbox, which is what I usually play a lot of the time, in career mode, you can't just do whatever you want. You've got to upgrade stuff, and that costs a fair bit of money. I was going to close the doors. That was it. Right, now, before we start plummeting down to our death, which is going to be quite shortly, we can't get out, so that we can't get the EVA. Okay, So we're just going to come down and let's make this a little bit quicker. Let's speed it up because I don't want to bore you. Much as I know you love being bored. And I'm even going to take the gamble of possibly breaking physics here by going a little bit more. But first of all, we're going to... What I usually do on Kerbal is, well, that's if I can control the ship, is turn it sideways before pressing eject. Why did that do that then? I think it's because it was on a different thingy. So it should have detached. Where is my... where? Oh, it looks like it didn't detach. Well, now that is a bit of a problem. Because now we are in severe difficulty. We could blow up here. So, so let me try and get onto the retrograde. So we'll probably die here. But of course we could revert the process. Hope this slows down enough that we can just remove the heat shield, because we could remove the heat shield. Now we could die, but if so, we'll just revert it. So this is how the starship would do it. Alright, this is how the star. So we could plummet to our death here because the parachute may not slow us down. The decoupler did not work there, but we can easily get around that thing by detaching this. We could run a test. Don't know why, right? And then at least we're safe, and then we're going to drop the parachute as fast as possible, and then we won't plummet to our said death. It might take a little while for it to open, but bear with it. Right, we've got 3,000 feet to go yet. I may have pulled that. In fact, it did say risky. What's it say at the moment? Well, it says when safe, it's not really saying whether it's safe or not. And it's kind of centralising itself out. And there's the old, you can see a little bit, see, buzzing away into the distance, you can see the heat shield. That's the only way we could have separated from the lower bit, which would have made us plummet to our death. Okay, and while we're hovering and ascending in midair, we could also try and see if we can... oh, I just thought we lost the... We lost the... oh, hang on. I'll have to revert it. Sorry about that. We lost the science that was in the material bay, didn't we? Did we, Ray? Yes, we did. So we'll do that again. This time remember to get out of the ship and pick up the science. So sorry about that. I kind of fluffed there. There's just a tad there. I may have fluffed. Which is the kind of thing that will happen in this game. You will make mistakes. Well, I will. So this time we won't turn quite so early and mess up. We might get to an orbit with a bit of luck. I wonder why that didn't work. What I could do is put this into a separate one. Oh, it looks like we didn't do a one up here. Oh well, let's go with it, blow it. I mean, who cares about technicalities like that? And we're going to slow our speed down. We don't want to hit 300 before we get out of the light blue. It's just a precaution, because we don't want any kind of wind resistance. Hitting the area of maximum dynamic pressure now. Now, and we'll go a little bit more carefully. We'll try and stay inside that yellow ring. Because it's the yellow ring of Texas. Sorry. Please excuse me in my stupid comments. Right, we're getting up to 15. We should be to the right now, but I can't go too much at a time because it will plummet and tip over. And we want to be very efficient here and not do that. So we just want to just do it a little bit, and if it holds, then you're okay. Then we get to 90 degrees. And then I'm going to click on this one so that we get our height. It saves me having to go to the map screen, that's all. Right, 61, so we could start evening this out now. We could get a better orbit than we did last time. We're running out of fuel, so let's really flake it out over here now. And in fact, I'm going to cut the engine there. Now you're probably saying, why would you do that, Ray? That does seem like a very stupid thing to do. But because we've still got a little bit of a way to go, some reason I can't go in. Right, so we can set a maneuver node here, so we don't waste fuel. Oh, we can't set a maneuver node. Oh, that's because we haven't got that far. We haven't enabled that particular process yet. We haven't upgraded the, the tracking station, I think. So we just have to guess. And I can't see how far away we are from that, but we can easily find out by clicking on that. No, we can't find out by clicking on that. And I'm going to fire the engines, and we may get an orbit, although it's extremely unlikely. But, worth a go, isn't it? Is it saying how long it is before we get there? It's not really, is it? So we'll just go, we'll have a guess here. We'll put it right on there, look, so that we're sort of right on the centre. And then we'll guess roughly when to fire it. I'm going to go with that. Right, and I'll do it fairly quickly. And we'll see if we get an orbit. If I think we're not going to make it, then I'll stop it. In fact, I could stop it now. So let it get a little bit closer. So this is being fuel efficient. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's stupid, isn't it? Yeah, it's not really saying when we'll get there. Right, and then we'll do a bit more, because this is a more efficient way of doing it. No, it looks like we're not going to make it, but at least we'll stay up here for a little bit longer, he said, hopefully. In fact, let's point it up. Right, here we go. Right, now let's quickly get into space, do what we got to do the experiments, get the man out, take the stuff out. Alright, grab that. We're going to grab that. We got to do this fast before we get to 75, okay? So I'm going to do this very, very quickly indeed. Because we've got very little time. Once we get to 75, we're going to plummet to our death. So we've got to be very fast here. And do one more. Like that. And then we'll do a EVA. I've got to try and pick all these up. Oh, cannot disembark. Alright, so... oh, and that means I can't do it anyway then. Alright, we can't do that, so that's a complete waste of time. I'm very sorry I wasted your time there. That's kind of sad. See, if I had put a radio telescope thingy on, I could have sent all that back. I would have got less science, but who cares? So we might be able to see if we can get this. Let's see if we can get this thing down without plummeting to our death. I mean, it's worth a shot, isn't it? See, if I'd have put a little separator there, I could have got this guy down. Can I separate that? Shame, innit? So I made a slight error there, which is easily done when you're an idiot. Yeah, I didn't separate any of it. Shall I do that again, or have you had enough? Yeah, I can't. I don't think they will survive this. This is a total waste of time. So we'll just have a parachute. Now it ain't gonna work, but we'll just go with it, because this is part of Kerbal, of course, is having fun. And if it blows up, who cares? Now I know that's a bad attitude to take, but who cares about attitudes? And we're going to point towards that to try and, stop us. Things will explode, but that's the part of Kerbal. It's fun. Things are overheating. Who cares about that? It's slowing us down. Extremely fast. And when that parachute goes a nice, beautiful shade of grey, we might be able to reject the lower bit. But we've got to try and land with this, which is, I admit, is a tall order. In fact, we've got to hit the parachute now. No, see, obviously that didn't work. So what I'm going to do is revert to the vehicle assembly, because we made a tragic mistake there. So yeah, this is all part of the learning experience. Right, so we're going to pull that off and put a decoupler in. That is a far safer way of doing it. Alright, and I'm going to take this bit off, because we don't really need it, because we haven't really got a lot of time to do it all. Now, at least now, look, you see, We're in with a chance, aren't we? Okay, so we're going to do this one here. Just going to put that up there. All right, so we can detach that bit, the bit of that. All right, and then we will still do their thing, not as normal. Although I'm wondering why that thing did not separate. Didn't seem to separate very well, did it? I think it was this one. So let me pull this one out, because it looks like there was a separator in there, but it's not there anymore. So let me put another separator there. In fact, oh, hang on. There's the engine. Let's not put it between the engine and that. Yeah, look, there is one there, but it doesn't look as though it's attached very well. That's a bit odd, isn't it? Let me try getting rid of that one and put another one down. You never know, it might work. But it looks like it didn't the first time. Right, and then we do that, we'll make sure it's all in the correct place. So this goes, then that, those two go together. Obviously it detaches, then fires at the same time. That one goes first, that one goes second, that one goes, and we'll save this bit so we can keep all the science. Right. Okay. So now I think we'll save the craft and launch. So sorry, I'll cut this out. Honestly, I'll cut this out. Will I? So we kind of made a slight boo-boo. And what I'll do another episode after I've had my dinner. Sorry, what a complete mess up. You are a complete mess, Ray, at times. Why would you say that? I don't know. It's very heartless. Yeah, I realise that. Jebediah, you ready? Go. I don't think he was ready, but who cares? Because we have fun on this. We don't just do science and complicated stuff, because it can be quite a complicated game if you really want to get stuck into it. But we're going to have fun along the way, because that's what this game is all about. Now, it'd be very nice if they upgraded this to the one that's on PC, because that one on PC is... They can do a lot more on it, but I think we're held back by the current generation of consoles. They're not exactly fantastic, but obviously the next Series X on the from Microsoft or Xbox or whatever it is, and the next PS5, we probably might better upgrade it to the latest PC version, which would be ginormously excellent. So we're going very carefully, so we don't go too far beyond that yellow bit, otherwise it goes completely out of control. See, the higher we go, the more likely we can of turning it over. Whoa, I may have gone too far there. So we're having a real job holding it here. Went a little bit too soon, so that's why I'm difficult, a bit too soon. And as you get into the darker areas, then we will be able to do that. So, see, we need to be there by the time we get to 15,000. That's sort of the general sort of guess. Although, should we be guessing on this? I mean, right, and I'm just going to check how far I am. In fact, probably easier to do it on that. If we're getting about 70 or 80, we should be thinking about turning right. Yeah, let's really turn right now. And let's cut the engine right there. I know what you're saying, why would you do that, Ray? But why not? Why not? We're going up. We can do the experiment right now, this second. Save time later on when we've got very little time to get out of the ship and do the other stuff. Now, I could have done all this on one button. We could have pre-programmed this in, or whatever it is. I'll try and do it as fast as I can, then I'll just check where we are. Right, we can't do that, so I might as well reset that. And then we'll do this one, and I'm not sure how high we are, but we're getting high. Hi. Howdy partners, by the way, if I didn't say that already. And then we'll flip back to this babby, and we'll just check where we are in a moment. 84. So when we get, close-ish, we'll probably go full blast this time instead of going a little bit. Let's really kick this baby up. I wish it would say how many seconds away it is, but it's not going to tell me that, is it? What if I click on that? It won't, because we can't do that stuff yet. We haven't upgraded it. So we're going to wait until we're fairly close, then I'm going to just go max engine here. I might do it now. That's probably a bit too much. Because we want it to be as close as possible. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Why don't you do science now, Ray? Well, I could do the science now, Ray. But if I get an orbit, or you know, it would extend that line and I'd have a little bit more time. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to gain more time. Because time is a precious commodity in Kerbal, of which we have very little. Oh, I didn't put it on there. That's why that wasn't very effective. So I didn't put it right on that line there. That's the difference between the sea and the ground. Or the sky. If we look outside, it's the blue bit. Right, see if we do it really fast. We may get an orbit, but if we don't get an orbit, at least we'll extend it far enough that we'll stay up longer. Right, now we can whip in here, get these things done ultra fast in the ultra glow. And we won't click on that bit. We click on that so we get this. But very quick. We've got to do this fast. We've got to get out, pick up the stuff, get back in. And we don't have to because we're going to land this. But in case it doesn't. So we're going to get out. So I've got to be careful. Oh no, we can't. So we should be able to return all this stuff and detach that. So all this bit falls off. So this lighter stuff might make the journey back. I mean, I'm not making promises. Because of course it could all go tragically wrong. And I'll do both of these because they may not both give you science, but who cares? You know, you may as well do them anyway. I mean, if they don't give you it, don't give you it. I mean, it can be a bit tight like that sometimes. But it won't let you repeat some things that you've already done. So, but we'll just log them in there and just bang the willy-nilly out of it. I don't think we can do a crew report, can we? I think I already did that. Because as I know, I got a terrible memory. Right, and then it's probably the time now to ditch that out a bit. And I usually turn kind of like this, so that it doesn't get in the way of us. Like that. And then we're going to turn into a retrograde, which is the opposite of that. See, it's this one here with the sort of 3 lines on it. Okay? Alright. So that's retrograde, and the other one that you saw was prograde. That means we're heading in that direction, and actually the heat shield should be on the bottom. Should be on the bottom of that. So that's not a subtle mistake made by Uncle RayRay, but that's part of the learning process. And we'll try and guide this in. We can't lock onto it very well on here, but who cares? Right, I'll try and speed this up, make it as... We're not worried about breaking physics. It's all about getting back home in the moment. If I'd have put 2 parachutes on, we'd have definitely made it, but, you know, it's a tragic error on my behalf. And things are going to get hot now, so we're going to turn towards... I'm trying to get it off of that, hang on. For some reason, it's not allowing me to get off of that, oh heck. Right, over here. And we're going to try and maintain... Oh dear. Oh, we are a-tumbling. We are tumbling. This all could go wrong here. Oh, stippity-woo-ah. Now don't worry, we'll soon through the atmosphere. Oh! It's fun though, isn't it, when it all blows up? Maybe the front end can take the punishment and the back one can't. Oh, we may lose our... science. Yeah, it looks like we lost the science. Now I'll try and turn that way now. Yeah, we lost the science. Okay, well that's a complete failure. But the good news is we got the other bit. That's the sad tale. We'll let the parachute out. But at least we got back. We got some science below it. Who cares? I mean, that's... But, you know, this is the kind of thing that will happen. Now, what I should have done, left one of them. Although I think we've already done one over the sea. Haven't we? I don't know, Ray. I don't know. It should come out in a minute. I think it's 1,000 feet. Something like that. Oh, that's the other things that fell off. Hitting the water in the distance. Which we missed there. It's a lovely sunset though, or sunrise. Which is it? Sunset? I don't know. And the little parachute is guiding us safely down at 6 megapixels per second. We're not going to use the official name because we don't want to learn anything on this. We purely want to have fun today. So, Will Space Monkeys is not doing a very good job. I think Will needs to get a bit of practice in because it's nothing to do with the person holding the controller. Should we speed this up? Yeah, let's speed it up, eh? Are you enjoying it so far? I mean, it's a little bit of fun. You might learn something on the way. And if you haven't played this game already, please, Microsoft, put this on Game Pass. Then loads of people better play it. And they did a patch which has fixed, a few of the bugs now. Really, have they? Sorry, I don't know what I said. It looks like we lost the temperature scan. Oh, that's a bit sad, isn't it? So that all kind of miffed out there. I should have put the heat shield on the bottom of the other bit. But, that's all part of the learning process. It's my excuse for when I fail. And if we got an upgrade, we went up. He may get, he may get a promotion for this. Well, it's looking very doubtful. Right, we got 35 science, for goodness sake. I didn't expect that much. And we got all those refunded. He didn't get any XP gain. That's because, again, we didn't reach any kind of milestone. But if we go down here, we might actually be able to unlock something, which will be a shocking revelation. Yes. Right, so we unlocked. Which one did we unlock? The bottom one, didn't we? So let's see. We can either do planes. I'm not bothered about planes. Planes is for dummies. We could do this, which is, extra little bits. Plane parts. The, neutralizer. The thing that holds. I think we all go for this one myself. I'm thinking advanced rocketry. Bigger tanks. Then we can get into mid-air. Right, we can't do any the next section because you see, as you notice as you go along, you need more and more science to unlock the other one. See, this one was 45, now we're up to 90s. Look, so it goes up and up and up and up. So you got to do more advanced stuff. All right, now let's get back here and just see those little things that we got. And then I think that will do. I'm going to have my dinner and then I'll come back and I'll do episode 2. Which is the one that follows episode 1. Sorry about that. That was a stupid joke, really. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that. He said, rolling his tongue. And then I'm going to take that. Put that on the bottom. And then that on there. And maybe we won't lose it next time. Okay? Yes, Uncle Ray. Now, probably the time now to ditch this solid fuel sprocket booster, although it is doing a pretty fabulous job. Let's be honest. Now, is this... see if there's another one which is better than that. Yeah, there's a bigger one here. See, we could do this and we could have a whale of a time. We don't have any control and it go at ridiculously fast speed, so let's probably not do that. I think it's time to replace this with a normal tank. Alright? Anything you say, Ray? I mean, so still got, is that the same size tanks that we did before? Oh, these are all made out of little ones. So let's make them out of, let's do big ones instead. Oh, actually, I put those fins in the wrong place. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, these are all like singular ones. Look, let's drop them out, and then what we'll do, we'll drop this one in, and then we'll do the rigid attachment job. All right. So that we can do a second one, although let's pick a colour scheme first. I think we'll go with black. Yeah, let's be really dark and dangerous. And then we're going to copy that and put it there. Alright, and that can be our second stage. Alright, then we whip on the old... let's chuck that. Then we're going to do an engine, because obviously, no point doing that if we ain't got an engine. And then we're going to go for the swivel, because the swivel allows us to turn. I put this one on, it's more powerful. Let's get rid of that there. It's more powerful. Right? It does 205, whereas this one doesn't. But this one gives us vectoring, which means we can, you know, turn it a little bit. If you've got that, it's very difficult to turn. All right. Thank you, Uncle Ray, for telling us that. Then don't forget, rigid attachment saves us doing those stupid, you know, these stupid strut things, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of struts at the best of time. All right, and then we're going to do rigid attachment. Keep doing these rigid attachments. It's just the way I flow. And then what I'm going to do is get out, and I'm going to get these two, and I'm going to duplicate them and put them there, and then put this back in, like so, and this, hopefully this detachment is still there, yeah. See, and this saves us doing them one at a time again. Plus they're already rigid attachment, see? So this is what copying and pasting does. It increases your chances of... Now we can just do the bottom half. You see, do it highlighting both. If we click it now and do a copy, it'll do both. But if we do the bottom one, we can just add one more tanko. Alright? And then we're going to add that engine once again. Alright, like so. We're going to give that a rigid attachment. These should already be rigid, and you can very quickly just press X if you're on an Xbox, or square on a PlayStation, and we can and we just check that they are all rigid attachment. Now it's a bit long, so this thing may tip over, and I'll tell you what, I'm pretty much guaranteeing this will tip over. So we're going to kind of, because what we can do here is we can look at the center of mass. This is where things get complicated. And you see the centre of the mass is kind of not in the middle, so which means the top is going to be a little bit top heavy. Alright? Well, it's more weight at the bottom than the top. Which means, yeah. So it means it actually might be alright. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to, I can't be bothered to work it out, to be honest. But what we're going to do is, we're going to make sure we get all of it this time. We're going to go crazy. Alright, we're going to do that, and I'm going to swip it this way, because I'll tell you why later, and then we're going to do this to 2. Alright, and we're going to try and sort of, see that little line on there, a little white line, try and get it, and then get that bang in the middle like that. You'll have 2 of them, so we're nice equally spaced out, and then we're going to take, let's see, well, let's get new ones. I don't want to mess about with the copy and pasting. We're going to get new ones, and we're going to whip this on here. Now, what you got to do, when you place this, make sure that the tip of your arrow, alright, and I try and like line it up with that little line there, okay, it's kind of right in the middle there. So it's the actual arrow of this cursor, which dictates where, if you go here, it will actually attach itself to the tank, and you won't be able to dislodge it. So we've got to make sure it attaches to the side one. See, so it should be sticking out like that. Okay, if we attached it up here, it would be touching, and we wouldn't be able to detach it. So that's just a little thing to let you know. And we're going to do this black, because I'm in a black mood today. It's been a sad day. And then we're going to put 2 more on there, because we're really going for orbit this time. Alright, and then we got lots of time to do stuff. And then to make this more aerodynamic, we're going to put a cap on it. Now there may be a cap in here. There it is. And we're going to now make it a little bit aerodynamic. And then of course we've got to put an engine on. Because if we don't put an engine on, it's jolly well a complete waste of time, isn't it? Alright, now isn't that a nice looking craft? All the weight is down this end, so this end shouldn't fall over that way. Alright? And once it detaches, then it'll probably be about right, and then we'll be above the atmosphere anyway. So I'm going to do as quick as I can. I don't think we've got anything to hold this, have we? No, we haven't. Right, now we just got to check everything's set. So we want these to go off. Just check. If we click on this, we get the thrust to weight ratio. So if these 2 fire off, we will get off the ground. Okay? Strange as that may seem. So this one does not need to fire. Therefore, saving this top section. Now, it could swing over, that's the only problem. And I can't do the... No, we can't attach the fuel flow things. So we could leave it like that. I might do that. So we're going to move these two up here. So these will detach when this one... Hang on a minute. These two are firing. Those two, and then that one's going to fire. Okay? So when these throw off, this one's going to continue. Alright? And then after that we want a decoupler. And then we want the engine to fire at the same time. I mean, you can do it separately if you want, but... You know, why bother with all that trash? And then we're going to put these on because these will steady the process, and we'll do 4 of them. Because that seems to be a good round number that NASA and all those sort of people do. For some reason it changed back to all 1. And I bet you're thinking, why would it do that? Well, it's because we've got 1 on there. So we've got to be on the thing before we do it. That's it, see? Don't ask me why, but that's just the way it rolls, put it that way. So we're going to try and centralise this off. Make sure it doesn't get in the way of anything. There we are. Now at least we've got a little bit more stability. Alright, now anything that we haven't told to be rigid attachment, we're just going to check. Which is probably these. Yeah, look, they're off. And because we're doing 2, look, it should do the other one as well. We're always going to do this for the moment. And then if we check this one, look, these are already done. And then the same with the engine. We're going to do rigid attachment, alright? That just stops it falling apart. And we just check we've got everything else, especially the decouplers. They must be a rigid attachment. In fact, we could do it from, you can also press X on these. Does the same thing. That one hasn't got rigid attachment, so we're going to whip that one on. So press X on each of these. It'll tell you whether there's rigid attachment on. Clever, eh? Didn't know that, yeah. Alright, so let's quickly do this. Let's save this as a new craft. We'll call this Wheels and again, think up silly names. Wheels Orbit Bin. We're going to keep the ash bin process going for just a bit longer. There we are. And then we're going to save that. And that now will be saved as a separate ship. Right, now, for some reason that popped out, because you can do it by this, filter it by certain things, but you know, that's for advanced people. We're not advanced. Right, there we go. We've done it. I'm going to very quickly do this. Alright, because I want my lunch. Right, we've saved it, we've launched it, everything looks like it's set. We've got thrust to weight ratio is okay on the engines. If you look at here, you know, it's got to be above 1, so that's okay. That's okay, and that's okay. So they're all above 1, so that means we should keep going. Alright, and then we're going to launch. Too many parts. Alright, yeah, there is a limit. So how much money have we got? Right, so we've got to take some off. Oh, that's a little bit upsetting to be that one off. Which means we've got a little bit less fuel, but too many. I'll tell you what, we don't need these. Who needs stability? Yeah, we could put that one, we just back on. Why don't we do that? Because what I want I can get, really. Because we'll definitely get an orbit then. Alright, am I out? Whoop, to rigid attachment. Okay, stick with our lovely... I don't think we can do the engines, can we? No. There we are, lovely shade of black. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? That's it. Make sure you do that before things like, oh, really? Which is a good point. We might need electricity. So let's put a couple of batteries on. Best do it on or I'm going to do it away from the door so that we could possibly get out. So kind of pointing like that. I don't think we can do a ladder or anything stupid like that for me. And in case everything goes wrong, I'm going to take that parachute off. Those 2 on. Not 4, obviously, so 2. Now, one thing about this game is they do these parachutes roll like it. I'm just going to stick it there. Make it on this button. Clicking on wrong one. Clicking on. Make sure you clicking on that. You can click that. It's a little bit neater, so we could... Wrong one. Right, we've got it to make it go in. Inside like that. But I'm not going to. That reminds me I have got parachutes. Right, save that. Launch, and then I'm going to... Too many again. How come we got too many always? Oh, it's the batteries. Right, batteries. Go to 2 of them. Hopefully that will do it. And just stick 2 batteries on there. Still too many apparently. Well, that's kind of sad. I'm about to go. It did work. 1 parachute then. We got 1 part. Ooh, what can I take off? Any idea, ladies? We could always not worry about the wind resistance and take these off. Who cares? Let's take them off. Blow. We don't care about wind resistance. That will do. We got electric power, I think. We could. I mean, I don't think we got the. No, we haven't got anything for that. I suppose we could put an aerial on. If we didn't want an aerial tying it on there, we can put that on. We can put one thing on this ship, and I'm going to put it there, like that. And then I'm going to again and do 1, because obviously we'll go over again. Okay, but the mass is all about. I think it is. It's too heavy. Right, way around that. Yeah, God, what's going on, isn't it? I'll cut all this out, don't I? He said. Not going to do that. What I could do is click on that. No. We press X on that. What we could do is upgrade it. Because we got 200,000. And then we can take off. See? Now we could do orbits visible in the map, although it's costing a huge, terrific amount of money there. That upgrades our parts. Again, a huge, terrific amount of money there. So actually, I wish I hadn't done that. Can I reverse it? Okay, let's go back to that one then. Worth a try, wasn't it? So I think we're over the parts. Oh no, we're right for parts, so we should be okay. But at least like weight-wise or whatever, we should pass now. Yeah, electric charge stored but not generated, so we can't generate it, but who cares? So it's just a little crew report to say, hello, something's not quite right. But we ignore that. It just means we haven't got any monoprop. But that's because there's monoprop in here, which I won't explain it. There's no point. Right, let's try and do this a bit quicker. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, about that. Okay. Hopefully I got all that right. It's a learning process, you see, and even though I've played this game to death, I still make mistakes. Right, first of all, we'll make sure SAS is on, and then we're probably going to go full blast this time because we're only just about to get out of the atmosphere. Now, we could do it by stage, but of course, this doesn't always work. It's one of the bugs. So, ready? Are you ready? Yeah, you are. And then you've got to see this little green square around that. You've got to press the B key on an Xbox or circle on a... just to remove that before you can press the button. Now, we're moving upwards. That's the only thing we care about. Now, we're more likely to tip because it's a bigger ship. But we're not worried about that. Now, we could have done one actually. Let's do one in the air. Like that. And then we can do another one when we're further out. Now, as I said, don't let it go to 300. Alright? But we can turn a little bit right. As long as we stay within that little yellow circle, we'll be alright. We start to turn just a shade like that. But not too much. And then when we get out of the light blue, or the fuel runs out, we press the stage button, which is A on an Xbox, X on a PlayStation. Right, we're going to have to turn very soon. Right, and then we're going to press this one. and detach these. Probably should have done it the other way around. Alright, we're into a light blue area now. We're still going up, which is a good sign. Especially in my book. See, we're going up okay. We're doing well here. Although that here, because we can do this whilst in flight, we can pull that one down there. Alright. Right, and then we're going to start turning. We just got to be a bit careful, alright? As I say, don't go too much too soon. Or too soon too much. And then when we get into that nice light blue area, we can start swinging this over. Do it a bit at a time, but try and do it as fast as you can. But without overdoing it. Because we're still in the sort of low atmosphere. High atmosphere, shall I say. It's one of the two, wouldn't it? And then we get onto the 90. We should be here by about 15 really, but we're slightly out. So we're going to go a little bit more, and we're going to check our apoapsis and periapsis, you know. One's a girl's name, one's a boy's name. Sorry. Don't know why I said that. But yeah, we want to keep it on the 90 really. And then when it's getting quite close to 70, then we can start whipping it over to the right there. And the engine's going to run out very soon. So we'll start tipping it now, because we're getting to 70. We're going to detach that and blow that one. Now we could slow it down, of course. Because as long as we're going up, alright, and then we can tip to the right, and then we could cut the engine. Why would you do that? Because we've still got time before we get to said point here. So if we do it close to this thing, and I've no idea how many seconds we got to do because we haven't enabled that yet, because we haven't upgraded it. Alright, but we'll get money for doing this, and we will do a mission at some point, but I'll probably do that after we've had my dinner. We'll do a second one. Could restart it actually. No, I'm joking. It's going to take a long time to get there. So we're going to place this right on there, which means we are facing directly outwards in a straight line horizontally. Alright? Because if you know anything about orbital mechanics and you don't think the Earth is flat, to get into an orbit you have to go at a speed fast enough to maintain the height against the force of gravity. Why are you telling people that, Ray, when half of them don't understand it? So flat earthers will not be able to understand this at all, because they haven't got a brain. Alright? They just make up stuff, you know. So we're going to wait until it's a little bit closer, then we're going to go full pelt. And we should have plenty of fuel. Right? If the thing here is moving away from your craft, just ease this down so that it maintains it. And you won't waste too much fuel. Alright? Or you can go a bit closer and then fire it. I mean, there's two different ways of doing it, to be honest. I'm going to switch back to this. We've got plenty of fuel. We should make orbit without an ounce of problems. And we're going to keep pointing towards that. It's trying to pull us the other way for some reason. Alright. See, it's maintaining it fairly well here. We're sort of catching up to that apoapsis. In fact, we are catching up a bit too much now. Alright, so let's wait till it's a bit closer. This is a more fuel efficient way of doing it. We get close. Once we get maneuver nodes, of course, we'll better set an actual height. And then when you see the thing come out the other side, see, we've still got plenty of fuel left. See, at the moment, it's not come out the other side of the Earth yet, but it's very, very close. And this will tell you how close it is. It's minus at the moment, right? And then we're going to get rid of that arrow, and we're going to blast it up. And as long as if it's moving away, look, we can just pop it down a little bit so it keeps a nice steady distance. And then we're going to wait for this to get to about 75 minimum. And again, we can wait till we get closer to that AP, because then we won't go up. The AP won't go up too much, but the periapsis will, or the opposite side. Put it that way. So we get the most efficient way of using this fuel. Although who cares about that? Let's just press the button I'll just press the button, who cares? I mean, as long as it gets 75, I couldn't give a monkeys, to be honest. Yeah, especially as this is called, Will Space Monkeys. Right now we're in an orbit, you see, we can do what the hell we want. We still can't get out of the ship, of course. But why would I even bother with doing that? So now we're going to do one from an orbital plane. It's not a plane, is it? We'll try doing more of these, but because we've already been up here, we're probably not going to get any more. Yeah, there you are. I'll try an EVA, although yeah, if it comes up with the, it's because we're too near the entrance. If we click away from it, then you get the other one come up. So we'll try this. Probably won't work either. No, because we've done this a couple of times now. We've gone up. Right, there we are. We've got plenty of fuel left. There's a bit in each. It kind of balances it out now. It's a new Kerbal thing, right? Our battery power seems to be okay. We have electric current, because otherwise we won't be able to detach or anything like that, which is always a bad thing. That's why you put batteries on. And then we can't get out, so we can't do an EVA report. So there's not a lot we can do here. Not really a lot we can do. I mean, we can't even get out of the thing. Pretty sure we can't anyway. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, we got to do the astronaut comp. See, there's a lot of things we got to upgrade. So next time we'll do a mission, all right? And of course, you get beautiful music plays in the background. Who cares? But I'll do one of these. I mean, it's almost worth doing it. Even if you get 2 points or something, may as well keep clicking on it. And only when we get nothing is it. Yeah, I may as well reset it now. Only when we get nothing is there any point in doing nothing. I think that was the same one. Did I do that one? Who knows? No, we didn't. Right, okay, do that. Right, see, there we are. See, now we're in a lovely stable orbit, no problem at all. In fact, we could even try and land right back at there. I mean, it's a bit dark, but see, if I pick a point that's almost, well, actually, we want to go pick a point somewhere over here. So pick a point opposite that. Any old point. Which point would you like? That one? Now I'm trying to... It's one problem with this is it sometimes doesn't come up. Oh, we can't. So we just got to guess. Alright, we got to guess. Forgot that. We got to guess because we can't set maneuver nodes, Ray. So we'll just guess it. Who cares? So I'm going to guess it round about there. Alright. So opposite of that, which is... I don't know. What's the opposite of that? I don't know, round about there. I mean, that's near enough, isn't it? Somewhere when we get round there, we're going to fire these engines so that it goes to about 30,000, 25. I mean, do what the hell we like. I mean, but I would say about 30. So when we fire it close to this one, we want this one to go down about 30. Right? Now you could try and return this whole section, but probably it will not survive the atmospheric pressure. Christ, there's a lot of big words going in here, Ray. A lot of big words. I can't go any faster, can I? No, because we're quite close to the Earth and gravity is pulling us in, it won't allow us to skip time. Yeah, to any flat earthers out there, by the way, if you just look out the window and you'll see the moon is round, you'll see the sun is round. So what makes you think this one's flat? That's a simple answer to them. You know, it's quite simple. You could easily find out this. And then when there's a total eclipse of the P-brains, I should be slowing that down. Why does the Earth look round on the moon? I mean, you know, there's all kinds of stupid things like that. I should be pointing on that really. But, you know, this is not by any means accurate. I'm going to go down about, I don't know, 25, 30. That'll do. Alright. Now we've done our manoeuvre to come back in. Everything's happy. I'm feeling good. We don't need this lower area now. So we're going to press that and detach it, alright? And I usually like to, you know, I had to turn up and down like that, you know, so that it goes away from me. So then when we press it, it sort of falls away so that when I go back to this one, like that, it's not going to sort of get in my way. I hope. I mean, it sometimes might hit me on the way down, but who cares? Right, and then we're going to very quickly speed this up. And I'm pretty sure I can't do a crew report. Did I do a crew report? Let me just check that. I'm pretty sure I did. We didn't. I wonder if I can do that again. No. Sometimes, you know, as you're hovering about, over Kerbin, because I shouldn't be saying Earth, you hover over different areas, and every time you hover over a different area or land in a different area, you actually will get more science for landing in a different area. So if you don't land on the sea, and you land somewhere else, see, so there's highlands, lowlands, uplands, downlands, sand, I mean, desert, you know, the North Pole, I mean, they all give you extra science. So you can always alter your flight and just drop there. Right, we're going to speed it up because, you know, we want time to fly here. It tells us that we might break the physics, which means we may open the Kraken, which is the term for if there's a bug as it's coming down. It might anger the Kraken, and it may swallow it up ship, and things will break and bugs will fly all over the place. But I find you can do it most of the time. I've never really had too many problems with it, to be honest. But then I'm a genius. Right, then we're going to slow it down, and we're going to exit time warp, and then we're going to adjust this. See, we can't do it like when he gets 1 star. Okay, this guy here, Jebediah. When he gets 1 star, when we can set like a maneuver, then we can set periapsis and apoapsis, which is these yellow things. That's like retrograde. That's prograde. All right. Then he'll be able to set that, and as his skill level goes up, so he will be able to do more things, like turn upwards or downwards or inwards or outwards. We can do all that. But we've got very little skill because this is career mode. I'll try and speed it up a bit. And let's hope. And it's you notice it's red on the warp thing there because that's when things might break. Orange says it might break. Red means there's a greater chance of it breaking. And the green one means it probably won't break. So I'll press back and try and manage this a little bit so that, in other words, it's not hitting the side of the craft, it's only hitting the front. That's going to take all the stuff because this thing here burns away. This is called the ablator. What? It's got this ablator stuff on it, which gradually burns away, and when that runs out, we've got no protection. But you could probably, if you just go from orbit, which is not very high, you probably don't even need a heat shield, to be honest. I mean, it's advisable, but it's getting a little bit warm, I must admit. See, that's the heat sensors there saying, hello, it's getting a bit hot, Ray. We could explode here, and if they reach the end, which is, possible, it seems to be holding steady, he said, clutching his breath with mutant arms. Because I will come out with stupid stuff. Will Spake Monkeys, first orbit. Aren't you happy, Will? Wasn't that amazing? Didn't you learn something today? Nope, we didn't learn anything. Coming at a rate of knots, aren't we? It's 2,000 meters per second, which I've no idea what that means. But I know when we get to 1,000, this fireball will stop. Things will... we've got more chance of putting the parachute out. Now, I wonder where we're going to land. Let's have a look, because if we land somewhere different... it could well land on the land, which is always a nice thing. Or we could plummet in the sea, because if we can land on that deserty bit, we're going to get some deserty points, as they call it. You only get out of the ship when you're on the ground. You can't get out in mid-air or whatever. We could try, but it would pull us... We actually got a parachute, by the way. We could parachute out of this thing. If you would like to see that, please vote now. And I'll do that, but I've got to do all last minute, so it's a little bit tricky. Right, we are at a lovely speed now. The parachute is still a bit too early to do it. Let's see, it's red, which means it's risky. And we're still plummeting. I wonder if I could do a crew report from here. Have I got time to do a crew report? No, we can't. I'm going to do it once by the look of it. If we could store it on there, if we could get out and get back in, we'd probably be able to store it. And then we could do another one. But I'm not going to risk that because we're flying to our doom here. Right, now we can press the parachute, see, because it's now gone a nice white and grey. Which means it's safe. And it will only, and if we change this to land mode, alright, see it makes a slight difference. Not a lot I can do. Is that because we're landing in water? Oh, I think we're just going to snuck into the water there. But is there any way we can deflect that and make it go slightly less than that? No, I don't think there is. Oh, we are going to plummet in water. It's a shame, because if we'd have got on land, we'd have been very happy about that. Should come out soon, about 1,000, I think. Oh, that's a shame, because if we'd have landed in the desert-y bit, we would have got extra science. So that's an awful shame. If we swim to the shore, I could try swimming to the shore. I mean, that'd be a good, stupid way to finish, wouldn't it? Swim to the shore, and we might actually, if it's not too far a swim, it might be worth going for, actually. I'm almost tempted. Let's see which is the closest shore. Hang on. Because I want to be sure that I think they're both far away, to be honest. I'll do a little swim, and if that don't get me barely 2 inches, then we'll forget it. Yeah, see, it's good fun, isn't it? Now, I could attempt to get out. This would be very, very risky, but I don't think we can. No, we can't. Worth a shot, wouldn't it? Can I do another one of these? Can. What about one of those? No, wrong one, that one. What about that one? I can. May as well keep slamming it in there. I mean, can't do that one because it's already been done. There we are, I'm going to land any second. Ooh, terrific splash there. And then I'm going to tip it over. Although it may not be a bad idea, I may not be able to get out of the cockpit. As long as I can get out of the cockpit, I'll be able to get out of the cockpit. I'm going to get out of the cockpit and do something really stupid. I'm going to let go. And then I'm going to see if I can swim to the shore. Now, this might take a while, so we'll take a nice long distance. And if I can get a fair bit of the way fairly soon... No, it's going to take a while. No, let's go back. Yeah, that's taking too long. I may not be able to get in now because the door is not accessible. It's getting a bit closer. I can't really see. Where's the door? Can I get in? I mean, I might be able to get in. Grab. Grab. Board. Right, okay. Right, there we are. All good fun. Actually, did I do an EVA? Because you could do an EVA report out there. I might get another bit of science. There you are. See, it's always worth trying it in any new situation. And then we're going to go up here, recover it, and see what we get. And then that will do. I'm going to have my dinner. It's very, very late dinner now. So I'm gone out of my way here. And then I might do just a little bit more afterward. You know, after I come back in about an hour's time, I'll come back and do a teeny weeny bit more. So we got 60 science there. See what I mean? We got some funds coming back. And you also got a level up. Look at that. So that means now, when we take off, we can actually do the retrograde and all that lot. All that trollop. Now, we'll go down to science. We'll quickly spend this, because we're all excited. Well, I am. Don't know about you. See, we could go on to the next one, can't we? Ooh, we haven't quite got enough. So we could unlock one here. We could do the stability thing, the, what should we call it, the doodah. Planes bit, I'm going to leave. We could do wings and... Yeah, that's rubbish. I'm going to go with... Or we could save the points and do bigger stuff. But yeah, let's unlock this stability thing. There we are. So we got that. That's ready for next time. Alright? So if we go back to our thing, we'll have an extra few bits. And I'll do that. And then what I'll do is I'll do a mission. So it might ask us to test something, and they will pay us for doing that, because at the moment we're slowly losing money. You notice we're down to 19,000. It's pretty sad, really. So I don't think we're anything better on there. Nothing on there. We've now got these things here, which means you can, instead of using the rigid placement thing, we've also got this, so we can put a bigger tank on below the smaller one. Alright, and then we got that so that we can, you know, stop the thing wobbling as we take off. Not sure if that's new. That's not new. So I don't think we've really got a lot new, really, apart from that. I think it's just that. Alright, so there we are. I'm going to do that. I'm going to save that craft still, and then I'm going to leave it there, and then I'll come back in about an hour's time after I've had my dinner, and we will go to the Space Centre. In fact, let's go to the Space Centre in readiness, and then I can pause it there. And then what we can do is we can go to this, and you can either click on it with the, if you just push down on the left stick, you can click on the mission control thing, and here's all the little missions, alright? Or you can just do it by selecting it like that. Okay, mission control, which is below the launch pad. Alright, okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of fun on Will Space Monkeys, especially for Will, or William, one of my subscribers. I'm doing it just for you, and if you don't watch, I'll be very upset. Bye for now, and I'll see you in about an hour's time. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. And guess what, everyone? I'll see you later. Bye. Do a little 360. Yeah, that's one way to end. Bye.